From the Pep Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are currently following. WGAL Channel 8 News in Lancaster is reporting that a 21-year-old who was born a biological female but now identifies as non-binary was scheduled to have a bilateral mastectomy on July 24th at Penn State Health St. Joseph Medical Center in Berks County. The day before the surgery, sometimes called top surgery, two hospital employees called and said the surgery was canceled. The individual who asked to be called Jean said, honestly, it felt like grief. It felt like I was mourning the loss of this new person I was supposed to be. Penn State Health said in a statement, we are aware that a surgeon affiliated with our Penn State Health St. Joseph Medical Center has performed some top surgeries on transgender adults. This is not aligned with the principles of the Catholic healing mission that guides St. Joseph Medical Center. Dr. Deborah Stolberg of the University of Chicago researches the effect of religiously sponsored healthcare on reproductive health. She said, quote, I am alarmed that this might be a sign that transgender people may face denials on the basis of their hospital's religion. Health practitioners cannot be forced to perform procedures that conflict with their moral or religious beliefs. But attorney Alana Redfield of the Williams Institute at UCLA Law says it's not clear for health systems that receive federal funding and must comply with the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex, which the Department of Health and Human Services says includes discrimination on the basis of gender identification. LGBTQ Nation is reporting that Christopher Cole and his husband, two gay 15-year residents of the predominantly Republican and white town of Watertown, Connecticut, received a racist and homophobic typed letter last Friday afternoon mentioning their Democratic yard signs and the rainbow flag hanging in his front yard. Later that night, a group of men came onto his property and stole their signs and flag. Police say they may never be caught, but Cole, a longtime out community activist, told LGBTQ Nation that he isn't intimidated. In fact, he and his husband have already replaced the signs and flag and have received an outpouring of support from the community, local news, and their congresswoman. The aforementioned letter, sent by someone calling themselves, quote, Americans That Care, referenced yard signs that Cole and his husband had in their yard in support of the Democratic presidential ticket, Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and of Black congressional candidate Jahana Hayes. Despite filing police reports about the letter and vandalism, officers told him they couldn't identify the vandal without additional evidence. Though they're investigating, Watertown Police Chief Joshua Bernegger inexplicably told local news station WTNH there's no indication within the letter that it was motivated by hate or against any protected class of individual. For further details on the contents of this letter, please refer to our Facebook page for Pep Radio. Continuing with the story, the Watertown Police Department is taking this crime very seriously, as no citizen should be subject to fear and intimidation tactics based on their political affiliation, the department said in a statement. Cole said the rainbow flag has mostly resulted in positive responses, including a 6-year-old's crayon drawing of Cole and his husband with the flag and an 8-page letter from a 15-year-old high schooler who wrote that seeing the flag every day made a difference in her ability to come out. He has also seen the other rainbow flags go up around his neighborhood in the years since he began flying his. Cole and his husband attend the United Church of Christ, a progressive Christian church. A few years ago, he helped lead an effort to make the church more inclusive of LGBTQ plus people. He called the effort contentious at times, noting that some church members left, said harmful things in meetings, and others sent hateful comments about the church on social media. Cole is also the executive director of A Place to Nourish Your Health, an LGBTQ plus inclusive community health center in nearby New Haven for people affected by HIV, substance use, mental illness, and related conditions. He said he was severely bullied as a child and refuses to back down now in the face of harassment. And finally, this news also from Connecticut. The Hartford Courant is reporting that following the state of Florida's apparent snub of LGBTQ plus travelers, Governor Ned Lamont is again seizing the opportunity to woo people to Connecticut. In response to the Sunshine State removing the LGBTQ plus section from its tourism marketing website, Visit Florida, Connecticut is launching a digital ad campaign inviting members of Florida's LGBTQ plus community to discover what makes Connecticut a welcoming alternative. According to a release from the Connecticut Office of Tourism, the campaign emphasizes that inclusivity is a core value in Connecticut, and everyone is encouraged to explore all the state has to offer. Florida is one of the top U.S. destinations for tourism, including for LGBTQ plus people, but led by Governor Ron DeSantis, has enacted discriminatory laws in the past few years. Recent legislation targeting queer people includes the state's Don't Say Gay bill, restriction of gender-affirming care, a prohibition on allowing transgender people to change their sex on driver's licenses, and a law mandating transgender people use the bathroom corresponding to their assignment at birth. The increasing political hostility toward the LGBTQ plus community in 2023 led some civil rights groups to issue a travel advisory warning of the dangers of visiting Florida. Among those were the Human Rights Campaign and the Pennsylvania Equality Project. Around the same time, the NAACP and League of United Latin American Citizens also separately issued travel advisories warning people of color to avoid the state. Connecticut, however, is seeking to remind people that it is an inclusive destination. And that's the news for this hour. Let's get back to the music now on PEP Radio.